Let's come back to Charlie now.
Greetings,
Charlie is sitting
YouTuber.
thinking, should he try to
What if I told you?
quantize gravity? Should he try to
Man
use the
behind
usual
this
rules of
mask
going from a classical system to a quantum
is-
mechanical system? The real bottom line is
First step in solving any problem is recognizing the risk.
If you knew nothing about science, and you read, say, the Bible, the Old Testament, which in Genesis is an account of nature, that's what that is. And I said to you, give me your description of the natural world based only on this. You would say the world was created in 6 days, and that stars are just little points of light, much lesser than the sun. And in fact, they can fall out of the sky. One of the signs that the second coming is that stars will fall out of the sky and land on Earth. So to even write that means you don't know what those things are. You have no concept of what the actual universe is. So everybody who tried to make proclamations about the physical universe based on Bible passages got the wrong answer. So what happened was, when science discovers things and you want to stay religious, or you want to continue to believe the Bible is an error, what you would do is, you would say, well, let me go back to the Bible and reinterpret it. Then you say things like, oh, they didn't really mean that literally, they meant that figuratively. So this whole sort of reinterpretation of how figurative the poetic passages of the Bible are came after science showed that this is not how things unfold.
As using God's name flippantly or as a swear word or something.
This is one of the 10 Commandments, ladies and gentlemen.
To accept the command.
Translation.
Bear his name in vain. I'm quite certain that after my investigation I in vain something. It would be to bear God's name in vain is to do vain. Accept that role as his representative. I would translate it, you shall not misrepresent him. Do anything that would cause others to look and say, do anything that would cause others to look and say, after my investigation, I'm quite certain that
Christians aren't bearing the name properly.
That's not the right reading.
Exodus 20, verse 7. This is one of the 10 Commandments, ladies and gentlemen.
Certain that's not the right reading of the command.
Christians
Misrepresent him. That you shall not accept that role as his representative to misrepresent him, and then to misbear the name of your God.
What is the proper translation?
That's what Yahweh is like. I want nothing to do with it. As I would translate as a swear word, understanding that as do anything that would cause others to look and say, as using God's name flippantly or as a swear word or something. And that's not the right reading of the command. Yahweh is like, bear his name in vain would be to accept that role as his representatives and then to misrepresent him. If that's what bear the name of your God is like, I want nothing to do with it.
How often does that happen in our culture today?
God in vain. Quite certain that's not the right reading of the command. After my investigation, I'm understanding that as using God's name flippantly. With this long tradition of bear God's name in vain is to do vain.
How often does that happen in our culture when Christians aren't bearing the name properly?
God's like,
Christians,
I want nothing to do with it.
Christians aren't bearing the name properly. This is one of the 10 Commandments.
As
The actual translation
that's not the right reading of the command.
is the actual translation. The actual translation of Exodus 20, verse 7.
The command.
Translation.
Bear his name in vain. I'm quite certain that after my investigation, I in vain something would be to bear God's name in vain is to do vain.
That they are much more deeply related than we ever had any reason to expect. So let's come back to Charlie now. Charlie is sitting and thinking, should he try to quantize gravity? Should he try to use the usual rules of going from a classical system to a quantum mechanical system? And I would say no.